Hello and welcome to this episode 95 of VocTerGaming. I am your host, the vocal terrorist, Jesse Rain, and we are here with our show match from this week. It is a Zerg vs Protoss. It is the only non-MX5 related game to play this week. And it features, of course, one of the greatest Zergs to ever play Starcraft. It is, of course, spawning in the red. Incredible Miracles, IMNesTea! And today, he is playing against our surprise opponent, who you can see up in the top there, spawning in the northeast. It is Alice. Now, Alice is not a player I know a great deal about, and in fact no one appears to know a great deal about, because she or he do not appear on Wikipedia or in fact on Google. All I know about them is they are a Grandmaster Protoss player, so it should be really fun to see whether or not IMNesTea just smashes them aside like he has so many Protoss before them, or if in fact he goes on to completely and utterly fail. So that is pretty much the aim of this week. Let me just check that I am running it at the right speed. Yes, I am. Thank you so much. Had to check there because it kind of went a bit crazy at the start, as I managed to somehow accidentally hit the plus button a couple of times while turning on Fraps to record. Yes, everything is going swimmingly this week, as you can tell. Of course, this is the last time I will be live streaming this to twitch.tv/VocTerGaming. After that, oh, do not crash again. Thank God for that. If Starcraft 2 had crashed again, I was going to rage quit and you would not have got a game tonight, because I am sick of that. Anyway, as both players are going fast expand, the Protoss with Forge first, and IMNesTea going into, well, it's fast expand, but it's not the fastest expand. It's a pull first expand. So while it's still a fast expand in terms of Starcraft, it's a pretty slow expand when it comes to Zerg, who of course often 14 hatch. Getting some good scouting with this Overlord. He knows the Forge is there. He knows the Nexus is here. But as I was saying, yes, this is the last time I'll be live streaming the VocTerGaming weekly videos, the Tuesday to Friday videos, unless of course there's a huge outcry, but as far as I'm aware, people aren't even watching this live anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So this channel will then stay up for when I'm doing tournaments, when I'm doing Team Carnage stuff. And the YouTube archive, of course, which is www.youtube.com/VocTerGaming, that will stay the Tuesday to Friday videos every single week. I still intend to do 4 videos next week. I may as well. I'm only working 3 days next week anyway. But after that, I am of course off to India, because I am meeting my fiancée for the very first time. And I'm telling you, it is like 10 days until I arrive, till I'm actually in our house together, and it is just going to be fantastic. I don't even want to talk about this game. I want to talk about that just so friggin' much. As it is, I have to tell you that we are getting ground weapons level 1 from the Protoss side. That is Alice getting that upgrade nice and early, which I'm very happy about. Protoss, especially if you go forward first, you need to be hitting those upgrade timings really hard. MC has shown us just how powerful they can be. Meanwhile, IMNesTea is pretty much just droning up at home, getting as much of an economy together as he can. But yeah, so I hope you guys don't miss me too much on the 2 weeks I'm gone. It's going to be an adventure for me, and of course I'll take my camera with me. I won't be able to upload anything while I'm there because internet is terrible out there, but I'm sure I'll film a bit of stuff, maybe film, just show you my wife, show you the place I'm staying at, because I know some of you guys are interested and it'll be nice. And here we see IMNesTea, as expected, taking a very quick third, because he wants to get the 1-base advantage over Alice as fast as possible. Doing it at 50 food is a very nice timing. And it's a pretty defensible location here. While sadly it's not close by there, unless you have muters out. which would be a nice thing for him to get onto, but he's going to go Roach Warrant and Evo Chamber, interestingly. Of course, he knows since Alice fast expanding, she's not going to be, and I'm going to assume she's female for the purposes of this broadcast. She may well be a male player, but I'm going to use female pronouns. Because she's fast expanded, she's probably not going to be hitting many units right now. Going to be more geared towards tech, and there we see a Twilight Council going down along with 2 more gateways in the main base as the 2 gateways finish. Twilight Council is now half done. This Overlord is in the perfect place. I want to show you something about this Overlord. If you look at Alice's vision, you cannot see it because that here is technically high ground. Bam. Nothing. You do not see that Overlord. What we've been seeing lately from Terrans is them floating a barracks to be able to kill that Overlord. But of course, Protoss have nothing that can do the same until they get an observer out. And of course, because Alice has gone for a Twilight Council, going for Blink, by the way, because Alice has gone for a Twilight Council, she's not going to have an observer for quite a while yet. Getting Hallucination as well, interesting. Excellent. That's a really nice usage. Get Hallucination, use your Scouty Phoenix to see this observer and have the sentries kill it. Interesting that she's going for Blink this early and making mostly sentries. If I just take a quick look at the units tab, we see no stalkers out yet. So getting Blink right now for a unit that does not even exist on the map. Very, very interesting. Getting sentries instead to help defend right now this expansion. But of course there is no attack coming from IMNesTea. Instead, he is just droning hard. Getting now 6 roaches, getting his upgrades. Zergling speed is just about to finish. And then melee attacks level 1 on the way for the Zerglings upgrade. Of course, that does not help out the roaches. They need the missile attacks upgrade. But he's getting burrow as well, which helps roaches. Getting burrow and then burrow movement completely negates force fields, which is very, very nice. And now we have some stalkers out from Alice. Going to come down, take out these rocks and expand to a 3rd base. So Alice, looking to take the map like that, but a scouting Zergling from IMNesTea is going to see this right here and runs away immediately. He's got the scout, he knows exactly what's going on, and I'm sorry, let me just say this, I know it's a big thing casters talk about. Look at this creep spread here. All 3 bases are connected by now, by the 10-minute mark, and creep is now nearly halfway towards his opponent's base. Thank you very much. Roach movement speed is on the way. Now Alice's hallucinated Phoenix is going to fly into the main base of IMNesTea. Is there a Spore Crawler? There is a Spire going down. No Spore Crawler here, so it's not going to get stopped. Only the 1 Queen. Obviously Lair is done, so Spire on the way. Perhaps Mutas, perhaps for a late switch into Broodlords. We will see. And now, Protoss Ground Weapons level 3 on the way. Really hitting those upgrades hard. I like it. A Macro Hatchery going down for IMNesTea. While he masses a small amount of Zerglings and Roaches for perhaps a push, perhaps a pressure. We have cannons going down at the secondary base. That's to help defend against any kind of Muta harass. Because, of course, Alice did see that Spire go down. And as we see, IMNesTea is going to probe this 3rd base here from Alice. That's going to be really interesting to see whether it can do any damage. Alice has an awful lot of Blink Stalkers here, and right now it's more than enough to defeat this small force of Roaches and Zerglings, I'm certain of it, despite IMNesTea's excellent control. If Alice blinks correctly, and I'm sure she will, she's a Grandmaster Protoss, then she will do just fine. Here we have cannons going down to defend as well. So right now we have 2 cannons, a ton of sentries and roaches. Some roaches getting caught in here. A few roaches going down to that, losing some. IMNesTea retreating with these 4 and going home with his Zerglings. That is the best move he could possibly make. Right now, the Protoss is just 2 upgraded. We have Zerg Flyer attacks level 1 on the way and Zerg melee attacks level 2. Meanwhile, he expands to a 4th base. So since he could not take this 3rd base down, I like that. He's going to instead expand to a 4th base and retain that 1 base advantage. Along with the macro hatch means he can drone really hard, he can create units, he hits his production cycles absolutely perfectly. And we have Mutalisks on the way now, we have 2 Spine Crawlers going down. More mutas now flying into the second base. Nope, going to skip that, go into the main. Maybe take some pylons. Not even going to do that, just scouting with them right now. Pulling the Stalkers out of position and away, waiting till he's massed up more mutas. But I like this response from Alice. Templar Archives. I'm assuming High Templar with Storm. Sonic Storm so good against mutas. Although they can move fast through it, they are very, very weak. And often, players do not upgrade their armor until late in the game. So you can lose quite a few mutas from just a couple of Storms. We see now this base is very well defended. Walled off at one side with pylons, gateways, cannons, everything. So, and of course units this side to protect there. And wow, look at this from IMNesTea expelling again. This is a real macro game. Look at this. It's now 13.5 minutes and we have no less than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bases up from IMNesTea. We have the 5th base obviously on the way, but we have a macro hatch here. And now once again the mutas now are going to try and harass, but the fake Phoenix does see them, so he should turn around right now, because more Stalkers are going to come this way very, very shortly to help defend. These mutas no way can do anything there. What he's doing now is checking to see whether or not Alice is trying to sneak even more expansions. But Alice, meanwhile, is getting up a Robo Facility, Protoss Ground Armor level 1 and Sonic Storm, getting some High Templar out. High Templar so good with that Sonic Storm ability against both mutas and Zerglings. So Ground Carapace level 1 on the way now. It's going to help the roaches more than the lings. And Pathogen Glands. So we are going to have Infestors with that starting energy. So enough energy to fungal right off the bat. Should be very, very tasty right now. And this is a much bigger push coming in from IMNesTea. He's nearly maxed. He has the food advantage right now. But of course some of that will be in drones. We'll see how much of that in drones. Quite a lot. Nearly. In fact 21 of that is drones. So that's pretty big. And now we have the mutas trying to poke in. Doing not a lot of damage to anything right there. Missile attacks on the way, of course. That's going to help the roaches again. The roach upgrade. Creep is getting miles and miles away. Because the Robo Facility is only just finished. Alice has not had an observer. She's not been able to move forward and pick off creep tumors and stop this spreading. Interesting to note, he's continuing to spread it towards Alice's base rather than towards his expansions. So it looks to me like he wants to do some good pushing very, very shortly towards Alice's base. Meanwhile, Alice has Immortals on the way and a Robotics Blade. Did he lose the Spire? No. For some reason, IMNesTea is building a second Spire. The only reason I can think of is for double upgrades. Getting that Flyer Carapace, of course, helping the mutas stay alive a bit longer. That's all I can think of, is he wants to double upgrade the mutas. Getting a Hive on the way is going to allow him to get Broodlords out. That's going to be very useful when Colossus starts spawning. Where has she built the Robo Facility? Here it is, right at the front of this base. A nice placement for it. It's pretty safe from being harassed and picked off with the cannons and the army here, obviously. That poor Immortal wants to get past, but the Zealot is in the way. Meanwhile, we have the mutas. It looks like about to try and harass this third again. I'm not too sure about it. Not going to wait until Flyer Carapace is done. Shield upgrades now even on the way from Alice, of course. Alice is at 3-1, 3-2. These mutas doing some damage. I'll check in a minute. As it is now, going to take down some probes. This is not the most well-defended probe line I have ever seen. And Alice losing a lot of probes right now from this base. That is terrible. But Stalker's blinking right under the mutas. Going to catch a lot of them, getting some kills right there. Very, very nice move there from Alice. So there we see IMNesTea getting some advantage there and killing off probes, but losing, some mutas, and a Sonic Storm goes down, loses another muta, and quite a few of these are on red, if not orange. Sorry, orange if not red even. We have 7 infestors on the way. We have a Colossus spawning now. Stalkers warping in. They are on 3-1 right now, soon to be 3-1-1. So they are going to be heavily, heavily upgraded. We have this force of roaches and speedlings moving back to defend this base, perhaps to check more expansions. Meanwhile, Alice has built a Stargate. I don't know where she's built it, because holy crap, does she have a ton of buildings. But I am loving this macro play from both players. Right now, Alice, I think, wants to build a base here, but IMNesTea has a burrowed Zergling. How frustrating is that? Of course, no scans, needs an observer, or just will not be able to build a base there. Okay, Stargate going down here. Will it get sniped? It's going for it. Does snipe it. Doesn't look like a cancel. Doesn't get the cancel notification. And so we see Mutas versus Stalkers. Mutas doing quite well, in fact, but forced to retreat again. They are very hurt. He's going to lose a lot of Mutas doing that. The ground forces will soon be on 3-1-1. We have 11 Corruptors on the way, so that is going to be Broodlords. We have missile attacks level 2 for the Roaches, ground carapace level 2 for the Roaches, and flyer attacks level 2 for the Mutas. This is really nice to see. Going to harass this probe line again. Again, no cannons here. The cannons right up here to defend an attack from the Zerglings like so. But now, the Mutas coming in to help. Going to let all the Zerglings in. Can they focus down the cannons and then the Colossus? Colossus is very unprotected right now. Of course, it does have the armor. It does have the shield. But still, it could die at this point. Stalkers forcing the Mutas to retreat, however. So these are really some good upgrades. We have Stalkers coming in from the back. And IMNesTea loses all of his Roaches. So the Stargate is nearly finished. Interesting to see what we see out of them. Will we see Phoenixes? I imagine we will. I don't imagine we'll see Void Rays, but you never know. We have a ton of Spines going down now to defend this base from any possible pushes. And again, we have a cannon going down. It looks like that would have allowed the Burrowed Roach to be seen. So nice to see that that is completely dead now, because we do of course have an observer with this army. So important when units have burrow. We have the Great Aspire on the way. That is of course allowing the production of Broodlords when that finishes. Pneumatized Carapace 2 is on the way. Protoss Ground Armor level 2 coming from IMNesTea. We are now at the 20-minute mark, and Alice is going to make her very first push after securing a 4th base. These Mutas again trying to do some harassment, but there's there's only 2 of them left now. So they are not going to be that much good. Oh my god. Fleet Beacon on the way. Oh, we are going to have ourselves a mothership in this game. Jesus, if you thought the lag was bad until now, you wait until this mothership pops. But still, this is going to be friggin' sweet. Where is that Fleet Beacon? Where? There it is. Have the Mutas seen it? That is the big question. Let me take a look. No, IMNesTea does not know about the Fleet Beacon. So right now he does not know that a mothership will very soon be in production. Ground Armor level 2 is nearly a third of the way done. It's going to be a while until that is finished. We have High Templars in this mix. We have Colossi in this mix. Immortals, Sentries and Stalkers going to come down against this force of Spine Crawlers blinking right into the midst of them, doing so much damage. All the Stalkers able to do damage there, as Twitch TV tells me that they are standing against Sofa, which is lovely. But IMNesTea is about to lose this hatchery. Hatchery goes down. All the drones are burrowed, but he does have an observer here, so they will die. Very unfortunate for IMNesTea. There was no way he could hold that. And right now, I'm kind of worried for IMNesTea. He has a ton of Spine Crawlers. He has Broodlords. He's going straight for the high-tech army, but I'm not sure if he's going to be able to... Holy... What the balls? Look at this ring of Spine... It's not a ring. What? How many Spine Crawlers is that? Oh my god. I just do not know if that is even assailable at any point. Holy crap, that is a lot of Spine Crawlers. Oh, again we have Stalkers blinking in now to the 5th base of IMNesTea. Doing damage, not going to be stopped by this small amount of Spine Crawlers. Ground Armor level 2 is so nearly finished. So this is really nice timing. And now we have the Broodlord Infestors moving across the map, making their very slow way. Losing so many creep tumors here, by the way. Very, very nice from Alice to finally start picking them off. IMNesTea is re-expanding to this base, to this location. Still has the drones here. Alice did not think to move forward and pick them off. Now we have Broodlords harassing the cannons, harassing the expansion base, the 2nd base of Alice. As we see so many Broodlings doing damage here. Holy crap. That is 12 Broodlords, am I right in saying? 17 Broodlords there right now. I think some must be on the way. But that is a ton of Broodlords. This base is going down. Alice is trying to come home, but it's going to take a while. Of course, if he can move into the main before Alice finishes, she's going to lose all of her production buildings. And that would be devastating. That would give IMNesTea a huge advantage. Alice is losing pylons at an alarming rate now. Losing buildings, losing cannons. Coming up here to defend this place. Trying to rebuild gateways because she knows she's losing some. Right now, the forge goes down, so no more upgrades for a while. Robo facility is done with. Excuse me. I'm losing my voice at this point. Cybernetics core goes down. Everything is going down to IMNesTea's huge death push. This is absolutely incredible. Alice, meanwhile, is just staying calm and is taking another base. But you're losing every production facility you have. I don't know. I really don't know if Alice can come back from this. Obviously, she still has the 200 food of units. We'll lose a few probes up here. But IMNesTea will have the production to stand up against it. Cybercore and Templar Archives on the way again, being rebuilt at that third and fourth base. But this is just so much damage now. The mothership is out, the mothership is finished, and that can be huge. But he's got overseers with this, he's got tons of them. He's not worried about that at all. And he's starting now to attack the third base. And again, Alice is trying to come in with a flank now. Blinksing going to catch all these infestors, so that's nice. Fungal's going down, but it's not going to save them. Broodlord's coming in to do damage now, but this is a huge attack. 200 food versus 200 food. Mothership coming in and completely lagging the hell out of my video. This is a huge attack. I don't know if the mothership is enough. The cloaking is handy. Vortex goes down, catches some Broodlords and some Overseers, but not all of them. If he'd caught all the Overseers there, that could have been really, really fundamental. As it is now, throwing his own units into the Vortex to save them from the Broodlords. Interestingly, no Corruptors or Muters around, so right now, IMNesTea has nothing to fight this mothership with. And oh, so many Broodlords die! So many Broodlords going down from the Archons. Oh dear me, IMNesTea losing so much. But look at this, he's remaxed already. The second he loses units, he's remaxed. If only he had something to attack this mothership with. What has he made here? He's just made a ton of roaches to attack the army with again. The Broodlord's doing damage. Right now, there's nothing that could really hurt them. The mothership is attacking them, but it's not the strongest thing in the world. Its Purifier Beam only does 6 damage. But right now it has 5 kills. But again, Alice is going to lose this base if she's not careful. Archon's coming in to deal some damage there. We have Infestors down there to drop some sick Fungals if they want to. Archon's doing damage right now to the Broodlings, but they can be ignored in favour of the Broodlords right now. We have a ton of roaches, however, coming out from IMNesTea. Interesting that IMNesTea has not expanded. Look at his bank, by the way. 6,500 minerals. He can just remax so fast. Corruptors on the way. That's for more Broodlords. Infestors on the way. Holy crap. We have a few Overseers being kept safe, but all these Broodlords are now gone. So all he has are the roaches here who burrow under the gateway, coming in to take down the cannons so quickly. And again, Alice has to move to defend. IMNesTea right now has got her reacting. He's got her exactly where he wants her. Meanwhile, Ground Armour level 3 and Shields level 2 are on the way. Even more upgrades coming out from our Protoss player. But IMNesTea is playing so well right now. Going to lose all these roaches though to this Stalker army. The Stalkers with slightly more similar upgrades. Has 2 armour, 1 shield to the 3 armour, and both have 3 attack. But of course, when these armour and shield upgrades finish, the Stalkers will be so sick. We have IMNesTea re-expanding to his 5th location. Of course, he's mined out in the main long ago. Pretty much mined out in the 2nd and the 3rd. So he has to take the 4th. He has to hold the 5th because he will run out of money very, very quickly. These overseers are now going to try and escape. Let's hope they can make it to safety. And I'm pretty sure they can because the Stalkers are miles away. But now the Stalkers are going in for a death push of their own. They still have the Mothership with them. He has Corruptors out though. Obviously going to morph some of those to Broodlords, you would think. But keep some perhaps for attacking the Mothership. Perhaps even going so far as to go all in with the Corruptors right now. Kill the Mothership and then morph to Broodlords. In fact, that looks like what he's doing. So this Mothership is going to die. Unless he... Oh, brilliant. IMNesTea moving his Corruptors accidentally into the vortex. Archons are going to go in and everything inside is going to die. A horrible, horrible death. We have Colossi going in as well. Their splash is going to do some sick damage when they come out. Of course, no Overseers there. And now we see how much of it will die to the Archons and Colossi. The answer is absolutely everything. Storm's going down. Doing damage to the Corruptors. He's going to lose the Colossi here, though. The Colossi do go down. But does Alice have enough to crush through IMNesTea? Yes, yes, she does. Psionic Storm's going down, destroying the Roaches. Holy crap, what a game this is. But IMNesTea still has this base here super defended. And he still has the 5th base over here. Unfortunately, this Stalker has noticed it, so there's nothing he can do with it right now. I think perhaps he should have expanded here, or even into one of the mains instead, somewhere that Alice would be less likely to look. As it is now, getting some Zerglings out here, killing that Stalker. He's going to try and drone up, but I think Alice can just destroy that base. Once again, though, IMNesTea has the food advantage. Okay, Shields level 2 is about to finish. Ground Armor level 3 is on the way. It's almost done. We have another Mothership on the way. But now Alice is going to try and break through this Spider and Spore Crawler defense line and take out the last properly mining base of IMNesTea. This could be big right now. But meanwhile, IMNesTea is counter-attacking with Roaches up into the kind of 3rd, but there's no Nexus here right now. Alice only has 1 Nexus. But Sonic Storms are killing everything here, everything dying. Alice doing so well in taking that out. Alice right now has 1 Nexus here and 1 Nexus here, and that's it. So, these Roaches could do a lot of damage if he decided to attack with them. Again, taking out some production facilities, but Alice is going to expand up to the other main right now. This is a precarious position for both players. Both players previously having a huge bank and maxed out armies, and now both struggling to take bases, as Alice again denies IMNesTea's 5th base. So absolutely fantastic play from Alice here. The Broodlords are out to finish clearing up what is left here, while the Roaches move on to try and take down the economy of Alice. But there are a lot of cannons here yet again. Infestors, in fact, 1 Infestor dying, so that was some bad control from IMNesTea. And once this Mothership finishes, you've got to say IMNesTea might be in a bit of trouble here. He's not being able to remax his army anymore because he hasn't got the bank. Right now, he's barely even mining. I want you to think about that for a second. IMNesTea is being denied expansion so effectively, he's barely even mining at this point in the game. That is simply incredible. He's now expanded up to here, going to try and take this base and defend it. Broodlord's now doing damage to the probe line, but the Mothership is here. And again, no Corruptors, only 1 Infestor, so he's not going to be able to take that Mothership down, and I feel this is where IMNesTea's falling down right now. He needs a few air-to-air units that he just does not have. He's creating an Overseer, because of course, once again, he doesn't have an Overseer with this army. And we have drones transferring up to this, essentially the 6th base, but which is currently the only mining base when this finishes, because we have absolutely 0 minerals here. We have about 255 minerals in this base. Yeah, we have about 300 minerals in that base. That is not enough for anything. We have Roaches now taking down this base of Alice, the original main. While Alice, however, is just regrouping back at home. So many cannons, so many defences. The forge is not even producing anything. All that's left to upgrade is shield level 3. I wonder if Alice is going to do that. I doubt it. Right now, the focus is on rebuilding, remaxing. I think that is exactly where she needs to go with this. She needs to get an army up that's able to fight against IMNesTea, because right now neither player really has that. They need to be very, very careful with one another. All the spine crawlers having transferred up to here now will be burying in that creep when they can. Here they go. The roach force. This is a huge roach force. Let me just check the units tab right now. Okay, so we have 4 Zerglings, 2 Broodlords, 52 Roaches, 3 Corruptors, 1 Infestor and 4 Queens. Against a Mothership, 6 High Templar, 27 Stalkers, 5 Archons and an Immortal from Alice. But Alice is now trying to come in and deny this base. If she can do that, she will have a huge advantage. But right now she's trapped at 130 food and dying. Because of course losing so many pylons from the main in the second means she right now cannot produce any more units. Will these Stalkers be enough, however? I think they may be just enough to take down this base. The Roach Force is on its way home, however. If they can get there before this base goes down, and Alice is focusing on the spine crawlers right now, and drones rather than the base itself. And here come the Roaches, trapping the Stalkers in. They can't blink away because there's nowhere to blink to. They need to get up to that top and escape. But they're not gonna. And they all entirely disappear. What? Did they all die at once, or what the hell was that? That was creepy and weird, and I don't know exactly what happened. But anyway, IMNesTea has successfully defended this, and therefore has an economy once more. But of course Alice has this base and this base. So right now Alice is 1 base up on IMNesTea in terms of money. However, IMNesTea's production will far outstrip hers in terms of its ability to produce units quickly, because again Alice has to rebuild. Rebuilding cybernetics cores, rebuilding pylons. This is all a lot of work. And right now, in fact, even has to rebuild the Twilight Council before she can re-upgrade the shields. So we're going to be seeing... Does she have a Templar Archives yet? Did she build that before? Does not look like it. Nope, lost the Templar Archives. So not even going to be seeing any High Templar for a while. This could be bad for her. IMNesTea, however, needs to do something with this army, I feel. If he allows Alice to get an economy up again, nice that he's taking this base. If he allows Alice to get an economy up again, he's going to struggle to do anything, because of course his economy is also flailing. So he's going in, it looks like, for another attack, perhaps trying to take out a third if it was here. And holy crap, this feels weird. What a strange game. But what a show match to have on the Friday. And here he goes in, it looks like, for one huge attack. Roach is doing so much damage, but oh, they're going to get Archon toileted again. Pulls back with the rest of the Roaches. You need to be so careful around these vortexes. Of course, Archon's doing splash damage. When everything reappears, it's all clumped together in one tight little space, so the splash damage does so much damage. We're going to see right now, look at everything there just die in a mass of psionic storms and Archon laser zaps. I don't know what they're called. Psionic shockwaves. And again, Sonic Storm going down right in the middle of those Roaches. Oh, and again, IMNesTea is going to lose all of these Roaches if he's not careful. Losing his last Overseer, though. Oh, and now Alice blinks forward, taking down even more Roaches. And IMNesTea needs to be very careful. Down to 97 supply. Really struggling to maintain now. Fighting back, but once they cloak, he cannot see them, of course. So that is the last of the units he will kill if Alice is sensible, and I'm certain she is. And there goes the last Roach of IMNesTea. Now what Alice needs to do is come down and start denying these bases yet again. Holy crap. Oh, this is absolutely wrecking my voice. Like I said before, I've not been well recently, and this is making it a ton worse. But here we go. Alice now moving in for another attack. Needs to get those stalkers there. Loses an Archon. I preferred her previous tactic where she was blinking forward into them. If she can deny this base though, this will be huge for her. IMNesTea will once again be stuck on one base while she is expanding to a third base. In what is such a strange game we've been having. IMNesTea is moving forward with the last of his roaches, trying to counter-attack. But I don't think it's going to be enough. He loses that base, so all he has now is this one base here that will not be enough to stand against Alice at 3 base. And here he comes. Mothership is here once again. No Overseer, so that is pretty much the end of that for IMNesTea. Time to pack up and go home. He needs to somehow magically take a ton of expansions right now, or he's going to lose this game. He's so far behind at this point. When this base finishes, and in fact has a ton of photon cannons, well, has 2 and 2 gateways, this looks to me like a last ditch attack from IMNesTea. If it is, it needs to work, and it needs an Overseer, which he does not have. So it looks like in fact he's going to try and engage this Stalker army instead. Could be effective while the Mothership's not here, but he needs to take it all down. Nice fungal there, trapping some Stalkers, giving his Zerglings more surface area, and Sonic Storm's going down on the Zerglings, walking his roaches into them, doing so much damage. And I believe that is a recall. Finally I learned what that animation is. The Stalkers being recalled to escape. Brilliant use of the Mothership there by Alice. This is absolutely fantastic play. This has been such a fun game. I am enjoying the hell out of myself. IMNesTea finally has some Overseers. So it looks to me like this is the one last attack, because he does not have an economy to speak of. We have a Templar Archives rebuilding. We have Alice on 3 bases. IMNesTea still only on the 1 in terms of mining. So if this doesn't work, Alice is very soon going to outstrip him in economy and can just remax and attack before he can really do anything about it. If he loses all these units, I don't think there's a lot he can do to come back from there beyond miraculously taking half the map and expansions. But he's going to attack the 3rd base of Alice now. The Overseers are slightly slower in reaching there, so the Roaches were unable to attack for a few seconds. And now the Colossi doing damage, the Mothership doing some damage. They can take down the Overseers. IMNesTea, GG's! Alice takes the game after 40 minutes and 54 seconds. IMNesTea, GG's out of the game and loses to the Grandmaster Protoss player Alice. What a marathon game that was. If you have any information on who Alice is, all I know is she or he is Grandmaster in the Korean ladder. Please let me know, because wow, what a game that was. Anyway, that's me done for this week. Again, I'll be back just doing the YouTube archives next week, unless people are really super clamouring for some live stuff. It's just a lot easier for me to not do live stuff. That is pretty much it. After that, I'll be going to India, as I mentioned. So last week is the last week of the 2012 preview series I am doing. I will be back in February after going to India, where we will restart VocTerGaming properly, and I will be working with Team Carnage to produce some fantastic games of Starcraft 2 in the UK. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you all next week.